20. Vicks looking to make the last beat, does get to the outside, so now that is 2 in a row going for Team Alaska here. As the pack has speeded up, Prism Riot trying to find a way through. A multiplayer call coming. That is another skater going for Alaska off to the penalty box. It's not hurting them right now as they are getting lead. Handball record leaking out to the front, looking to try and catch Vicks on the hip. Jay Beal joining suit. Alaska setting up at the back. Goes ahead and calls off the jam. So these are just quick get the points and get out of harm's way kind of jam. So it's only 3 points on that one. Did not get all available skaters. So here we are coming into jam number 3. Jam number 3. It's going to be Destiny's Favorite versus Nikita. Those are the two jammers coming up on the line. So will Alabama break the streak so far at the beginning for Team Alaska? Destiny's Favorite trying to push that Alaska defense for us. These Alabama All-Stars really haven't had, had a tough go of it this weekend. Faced some really buzzsaw teams looking to try and get that win in the bank today. So here we go. So if you're just joining us, we are 3 jams in. The score, this is our 3rd jam in. The score is 7-0. 2 leads coming for Alaska. Destiny's Favorite out there on the track right now, going up against Nikita. The defense is up. Nikita grinds it out, finds the inside now. That's 3 jams in a row that Alaska has taken the lead. Alabama All-Stars looking to get there first. Of course, they've had quick pass outs. This is the first time we've seen a jammer get locked up in this defense from the state of Alaska, and there it is, Nikita onto the inside. That's the first easy scoring pass we've seen thus far from the game for either team. So 4 onto the board going now for Nikita. So both defenses set up here in the second straightaway, looking to lock in there. We had a star pass now going to Spider Wham. That is 62, Spider Wham. Right now, if you're looking on the feed, all you see is the pivot stripe on the helmet. Spider Wham getting locked up into the 3-wall. Both teams are separated, but still within pace. That is Destiny's Favorite dropping back to create. Oh, good offense real quick, but no, we are going to get a track cut call. So our first power jam opportunity of the game coming here in jam number 3. That is going to be in favor of Alaska. As Alabama All-Star Spider-Man goes and takes his seat, we will see what kind of offense Alaska has, and that's all they needed, just a quick little chip. Destiny's Favorite trying to get out and make one last final stop, does end up getting the penalty there as well, going to the happy penalty box. So advantage right now for Alaska, not just in the having a jammer on the floor, but also a 4-3 advantage on blockers as Alabama All-Stars trying to get a little forward, run away from that offensive attempt. 1 left to beat, that's Felony trying to lock it down at the front and does hold on until the end. I do believe we are not going to get the full rack of points there on that turn of the track as Felony stalled out that last bit of jam. But there we go. That's going to be 15 points on the jam, so 22-0. And it does appear, yes, Spider-Ram did get released from the box there at the end of the jam. So Nebula Space is going to take the jammer responsibility for Alabama All-Stars. And we're in an odd angle here to see. There we go. There's our jammer. I do believe, yes, that is who I thought that would be. That is Cat NATO. Cat NATO has been one of the strong jammers for Alaska this weekend. Had a problem with penalties yesterday, but got a quick pass through and runs through the inside yet again, just sliding past the attempted contact there. Cat NATO picking up speed, looking to kind of re-dive back in. A little bit of a clutter up here in turn number 1. Getting a little help from friends there. That is number 69, Nova, trying to lead the way for offense, and now just kind of getting stuck into the wall, trying to pry open space. Hard shove from Derby Gorgon, but bounces to the outside, and that is Cat NATO around yet again for another scoring opportunity. Meanwhile, Nebula Space still trying to find space there in the back-to-back, getting it taken out to the outside. Of course, that was a forearm, but sometimes those forearms buy you time. That's line blocker going off to the penalty box, but once again, it caused a reset. So sometimes those penalties actually work out in your favor. You bought time for your rest of your crew, and now bought time for Cat NATO to get back up into the mix again. Lucy Purr trying to be the last blocker there, buys a little bit more time, but Cat NATO does slip past the hips. Nebula Space still struggling against that defense at the back. Oh, that time thinking Cat NATO was going to slip around to the back. Derby Gorgon puts a hip into the contact, sends the outside, getting the recycle, so slowing it down. The speed right now of Catanado coming back around the track is kind of somewhat denying the Alabama All-Stars the ability to kind of run some quick O for nebulous space. So Catanado now finally rolling back around the track, looking to get a little help there. Destiny Favorite, Derby Gorgon trying to play the offense. This defense right now for Alaska withstanding it. Catanado one more time through the pack. As Glamazon, the pivot now back into the mix, potentially looking to get the start pass late, but we have 1 second left in the jam. That went a full 2 minutes. Catanado trying to score all the points there. So we're going to see, it does 2 more points. Bad this weekend. Like I said, their problem was taking jammer penalties. You know, it's kind of hard to win when you don't have the person who can score points out there on the track. So we're going to have P-Score Princess taking the line again for the Alabama All-Stars. I think we have an official timeout right now. All stoppages and plays brought to us. Well, where's my ad reads? There they are. Nope, that's not them. Oh yeah, here's my stream. So our stream sponsors are S1 Lifer Vision Visor Helmet, the next level of protection, durable, functional, stable. The S1 Pro knee pads are built for roller derby. So there we go, P-Score Princess in the back, trying to pry. I think that's Smashley back there at the front. I've yet to see the numbers as we are kind of blocked in our angle from all the NSOs and skating officials across the other side of the track as P-Score Princess getting drawn back a pretty good long way. Work being done at the front, but the defense is locking down. Also to look to do their recycle, not quite able to get back as fast. And so that opened up space, and that is right, that is Smashley. So we are looking to see these jammer matchups, but again, so that's 5 leads now for Alaska to start this game. P-Score Princess out into the mix as well now. Potentially make this a one and done. Oh, Smashley steps over the inside, just runs into Dr. Who's Your Daddy and hits the deck, but did not stay in play or inbounds on the contact. So that is 0 points on that opportunity. So right now looking to see if Team Alabama can settle in, get that lead jam status, because right now it is all 5 jams have gone to Alaska, as we are going to keep this rotation in sync. So that will be Vix, that will be Prism Riot. They were the 2 we saw in jam number 2. The previous is what we saw in jam number 1. We got the feed up a little bit late, just letting you know if you're keeping track at home. Oh, it looks like Prism Riot is just absolutely trying to run Riot over the defense, but I hear a whistle and I'm looking. Oh, we are going to get a back block call and a high block call on that outside contact. So another jammer penalty now going against the Alabama All-Stars jammer, and it's going to be Vix popping out of the front to take that lead jam status. Another Alaska blocker going off to the penalty box. So while you do not have the jammer on the floor, you do have the pack advantage here. And it looks like we're just going to play a little bit of avoidance defense here, not letting Alaska run the offense they want to do. And we have no pack because the Alaska skater took a knee, so I wouldn't be surprised if we end up seeing a pack destruction. Nope, the call did not come. The player got back up. They let that go. Jay Beal trying to hold it down here at the front against Vix. Felony trying to match suit. Unable to hold Vix back is now 4 points for Vix on that turn of the track. Prism Riot quickly out of the penalty box and into the scoring opportunity. We'll see if Alaska's going to run it or if they're going to do what they've done before when the pressure comes from the Alabama All-Star jammer and call it off. No, actually, we are going and Prism Riot able to slide through. Are we going to get points on the board? We should have for Alabama points on the board. So yes, Alabama breaks into the scoring ranks. 4 points on the jam for Prism Riot, 8 points for Vix. 56-4 is where we are looking. So yeah, right now, lead advantage has been going steadily for Alaska. 2 jammer penalties coming to Alabama All-Star jammers. So we will see if this continues or if any kind of changes are going to incur, any defensive changes, any jammer changes, but it's still early. Oh, and that is Nikita. Was stalking the inside of the track, and then right as the whistle went to the outside, but Destiny's favorite is out quickly as well, looking to try and make this just a one and done, a quick hit it and quit it. Oh, kind of an awkward step over on the inside, but it was successful by Nikita. Looked like they kind of wanted to take off in the air and decided, I think I could just keep a foot on the ground and make that step over. So only a 4-point jam on that one. So 60 now for Alaska, 4 for Alabama. So hopefully when we get another stop and play, I'll get the lineups done because we got in this game a little bit late. So I didn't want to kind of say any kind of stuff going on with the lineups until you were able to join us, so you can have continuity of the game. And I don't know if I'm getting a little bleed through on our feed, but we have Nebulous Space out there. That is Catanado. Catanado, an absolute terror on the track the last time out, rolling up a 26-point jam. Nope, and Nebulous Space able to get out of the pack this time. Now going to put some pressure on Catanado to potentially call it off, or I don't know if Catanado wants to keep going. Nope, decides to go ahead and just take what you have and put it down. All right, just taking a check on the equipment real quick. That's 3 points going for Alaska. So there we go, 63-4 as we are lining up Peace Corps Princess and Smashley. So both these teams running they are running a dead consistent jammer rotation. So once you get the vibe, you'll know who's coming next. We have an official timeout currently. So while we have the official timeout, I'm going to tell you the Team Alaska roster is 101 Magenta, 13 Sugar Honey Iced Tea, 21 Catanado, 210 Fupacabra, 289 Fort Knox Fox, 297 Line Blocker, 408 Gnarly Brown, 47 Nikita, 53 Vix, 54 Smashley, 55 Anasauru Rex, 609 Magoo, 69 Nova, 7 Tiffinator, 904 Yeti Not Yeti. The Alabama All-Stars are 011 Derby Gorgon, 11111 Nebula Space, 1283 Dr. Who's Your Daddy, 15 Hannibal Wrecker, 1941 Kayakazi, 225 Venus Thigh Trap, 25 Felony, 28 Peace Corps Princess, 281 Glamazon. Well, and I'll get back to that as we are back into the action. Smashley trying to find the outside, just riding the body of the blocker, not able to do it. So now we're getting the deep drawback. Both jammers having to take these full fallback as that was Kayakazi creating the deep recycle. And Smashley able to take the contact, kind of does a little spinorama on the inside, takes lead again for Alaska, but Peace Corps Princess out on the initial as well now. So another appeared to be one and done. I think that's the hand signal I saw from the bench of Alaska, and that is what we're going to do. Oh, able to pass that last skater, so that is 4 points on that turn. So 67-4 is where we sit. So where was I at? Oh, on the Alabama All-Stars. Next one, 314, Cutie Pie, 420, Prism Ride, 53, J. Beal, 616, Feta James, 62, Spider Wham, 66, Destiny's Favorite, 666, Lucy Purr, and 73, Janarchy. There we go. We have the call and play, so we are staying consistent. We have Prism Right. We have Vix. This is what we are doing. There are no surprises on our jammer rotation for either team thus far. Prism Right came close the last time, but got a penalty there, right in the hips. So while they are not getting lead right now, Alabama All-Stars are getting the double releases, so it is limiting any potential for long runs unless Alaska decides to go for it. But thus far in the early goings, they're not. Huge hit there coming from Nova to kind of clean up some space for offense. And not quite Prism Ryan able to get in the back, looking to kind of steal a few points, but only 2 points coming on that turn. So just the 2 offensive knocks there from Nova are the points allowed. So 69-4. Oh, I know some silly things that can be said using those numbers, but I am not that person. I mean, in my head I am, but out loud I'm not. So we're going to have Nikita and Destiny's Favorite. Destiny's Favorite trying to drive out that defense at the front. Alaska locking it down. Alabama All-Stars also doing the lockdown at the back. Alaska trying to run a little O from behind. Now resetting for a full 4 on both sides of this division. And there we go, a little seal back. Oh, and I see a penalty, multiplayer being called. Will that last blocker being released help the call? Destiny's Favorite pushing it out, creating the no pack. Reconnected just enough, but I think there's, nope. And yes, we have our first lead coming for Alabama All-Stars. So there we go, and it is a power jam as well. So one of those last calls was to the jammer for Alaska. That is Nikita. So Destiny's Favorite getting the quick pass through. So now we're going to get an opportunity to see what the Alabama All-Stars have on offense here. I know Hannibal Wrecker there at the front is usually a battering ram for offense, and not only is it just offense, but it's also a micro pack out there for Alaska. And there it was, Felony and Hannibal Wrecker both just prying open as the kitty comes back into play. Oh, but I thought we had a penalty. I saw Destiny's favorite was actually making the call off. So there we go. We have points on their own for Alabama All-Stars. That's an 8-point jam. So the respective benches for these two teams over on Alaska, we have Chaos, May Be Good, and Athena Latina. And for the Alabama All-Stars, we have Asian Invasion and Hollandaise. So I think I covered everybody representing their respective teams. So, hey, I guess we all caught up now. So for those of you who came in kind of late, it started off with Alaska getting lead in 4 points, and then second jam lead and 3 points. So I think that's the only jams that we missed at the start of this, if you joined us. I am Speaker of the House. I have my deeper Sunday morning voice from Tournament Derby, because this is what happens to you when you talk about roller derby in a loud room for multiple days in a row. Hopefully I'm keeping a good game call for the angle of view you have. I will not have comments. I am simply just screaming into the void over here on this track. And thanks Lansing for setting all this up. This is not the easiest thing to do, to set up multiple video feeds, audio feeds. I mean, we have both stream feed and house feed on each set. That's 3 tracks. That is a tough thing to do. So here we go, back into the mix. Catanado, Nebula Space. Catanado, an absolute demon on the track. And there it is, Catanado just swinging around the outside, using those toe stops to great effect to get that lead. Nebula Space looking to get through and decides to go ahead and just pass that off to Glamazon. That is 2-8-1. Looking to get a whip from Friends, does. Shoulders into the contact of Kayakazi and calls off the jam after passing the last blocker for the Alabama All-Stars. So that's actually, in some ways, that is a bit of a win for the Alabama All-Stars, as early in the going, Catanado just ripped a 26-point jam. That's really what the massive difference in this is. They had 2 quick back-to-back jams of a lot of points for Alaska, 15 and a 26, but otherwise everything's been kind of just one and dones. And that's really been the nature of this tournament thus far. It's the teams who fully take advantage of the disadvantage. I know that sounds obvious, but that's not always the easiest thing to do. Here we go. This is our staying with our rotation. Smashly at the front. Lucy Purr decides to just peel off and not take the penalty. Can't really play derby if you're in the penalty box, so smartly just staying out of the way. It was going to be a win regardless, as the out of play was coming in hand. Peace Corps Princess sitting in the back. Oh, now Peace Corps Princess now sitting down, as we have taken a penalty. So both the pivot and the jammer in the box. We have a 4-3 advantage on the blocking for Alaska. Alaska looking to just shift in there and open up space. Looked to do it, but Tiffinator kind of got toppled down there and kind of blocked the space for Smashly. Smashly said, well, I can't take the inside. I'll go around to the outside. So Dr. Who's Your Daddy now back into the mix. Looking to try and play the goat a little bit. Who's Your Daddy deciding to go ahead and chip, and does it. Excellent job of chipping on, especially drawing this back, get the 20 feet, and now that's excellent. That's a smart play. Just because you're separated from Friends doesn't mean you can't play derby. Peace Corps Princess back into play here. So Felony standing up there, and now we're getting a deep draw back there from Sugar Honey Iced Tea. Taking Princess back to the back again. Alaska doing a good job of using these recycled to buy their jammers time. Smashly now 12 onto the board, coming out of the front of the pack. Do we have? Yes, it is another penalty coming up Peace Corps Princess. This time it is a forearm, so another power jam opportunity for Smashly. Smashly just saying, go ahead, go get in the mix, mess it up. I'll find the space that I need. So continuing to run the offense forward, Dr. Who's Your Daddy trying for it. One more try for it there. Coming from Derby Gorgon. I think that little spinorama and hit does create the need to call off the jam, but I do believe I did see a penalty coming there at the end for Derby Gorgon going after our Happy Coffee penalty box. But that is a 19-point jam coming for Alaska. So we're going to set up with a power start. Not sure where the time left is on Peace Corps Princess, but Peace Corps Princess, okay, standing. So here we go. We have 10 seconds left to go in this one. It is a turn of the hips by Vix to the outside to grab that lead jam status. And seeing the deep reset there, drawing everybody back to make Peace Corps Princess come in a bit longer there at that jam line start. So all our players are out of the penalty box. They are able to play roller derby together as friends. Had a no-pack call. We get the release, and now Hannibal Wrecker is heading off to our Happy Coffee penalty box as Vix made the turn through the track to get 4 points. So looking at the back of Nova in the middle there, trying to stand up, now trading that off to number 210, Fupacabra. But penalties are coming as a result of some of these link-ups here at the front. Oh, and once again, Peace Corps Princess goes back to the penalty box. This has been one of the struggles for Alabama, not necessarily running with any, what I would call standard jammers in the mix. These are players who kind of, I would say, are flex, more often than not play kind of the pivot position. So they do have the capability of jamming, but it isn't their normal, everyday position. So here we go. We have no star in the pack as a penalty went against Vix as well. So we're just kind of handing out the penalties here to everybody because we have had some light pack action out here, both jammers and walkers heading off to our Happy Coffee penalty box. It's early in the morning. They might be serving coffee in the penalty box. Everybody needs a little bit of that, wake me up in the morning. All kidding aside, we are back to play. Peace Corps Princess now with the opportunity to score points and does on a micro pack. Vix frantically looking to kind of get back in and score the points that couldn't be made while sitting in the penalty box. Oh, and that's Jay Beal just kind of continuing to play a stick 'em block there at the front. And the jam comes to the end because, of course, Vix lost that lead jam status while going to the box. So Peace Corps Princess probably happy now to be like, look, somebody else take this star off my head. It's your turn to go and try and be out there. Hannibal Wrecker out there talking to the officials. Does also officiate themselves, so sometimes likes to talk to them and say, hey, I know this game too. But obviously did a little like, hey, we're cool, sorry about that. Looks like we're gonna take, I saw hands start to go to the shoulders for potential official timeout, so there was a 12-4 jam on that last one. Oh, nope, they're gonna add another point to that one, so we're gonna run it up to 5, making Alabama's total 17-104 for Alaska. And we are in a timeout of some kind. Oh, it is an official timeout. There we go. Saw it on our scoreboard. I'm going to look real quick at what our stat totals are for the respective teams because we had a bunch of people going off to the penalty box there for a while. So we're going to, I thought I had it. Now let's go back and check again. If I can find my penalty tracker on our little fancy score tablet here. And there we go. So right now it is 13 penalties going against Alaska. 18 against the Alabama All-Stars. And right now, kind of a little bit in a early bit of trouble right now. I'm looking, Feta James is sitting on 4 while we still have, about 9 left to go in this one, in this first period. So I don't see anybody in particular. We have one player with 3 right now for Alaska. That's number 289, Fort Knox Fox. So kind of hopefully we'll get back to that in just a little bit and tell you where all the penalties are coming, but it looks kind of like it's a buffet, just everybody sampling a little bit of what they got. It's like, you got that? I'll take a little bit. You got that one too? Yeah, I can take some of that too. So here we go, Nikita, Destiny's favorite. Destiny's favorite is thus far, been the only jammer to get lead and has, a couple times, really pulled this team to the front. And that looked to be where the winning opportunity for Destiny's favorite was getting the Alaska defense to the front. Felony right now trying to stay up there in the top of the pack, unable to hold on there with Kayakazi, as it is going to be Nikita getting that lead jam status. And Destiny's Favorite getting hit with a track cut call. So that is, I mean, that's right now what the major difference is. So, that is six jammer penalties now going against Alabama All-Star jammers. We've only seen 2 thus far against the Alaska jammers. So power jam opportunity, offense looking to get in there and does it. That is Sugar Honey Iced Tea pinning down the inside while Nova broke up the middle. And that's really, that's really one of the things. So, when you look at the roster for Alaska, there are a number of Rage City, roller derby teammates on here. So, that ability to coordinate the offense should be fairly good with a recognizable team where when you look at the roster for the Alabama All-Stars, it's a mix of Rocket City, Druid City, and also adding in Iron City Inferno, a new league in the state of Alabama. So Destiny's Favorite out of the penalty box and through to the inside, going to be on the scoring opportunity as a hard hit takes Nikita to the deck. But Nikita pops up looking to get that one last, another under hip there. Good job of getting lower and under was Kayakazi to stop that. Now here at the back of the pack, Alaska trying to deny the points and just kind of, everybody's kind of doing a around the outside, just kind of turning off each other, shoulder to shoulder and spinning away. Alaska losing 2 more blockers back to the penalty box and calling off the jam. But Destiny's Favorite able to get out of the penalty box and score points. So we're going to look at the final hands there. So 4 more. So that is 15 going for Alaska, 4 for Alabama. So 119 to 21 is where we sit. We have a blocker advantage for the Alabama All-Stars as 2 in blue are sitting in the box. Spider Ram sitting in for the Alabama All-Stars as Catanado and Nebula Space. Like I said, we are not changing up this jammer rotation one bit for either team. So just staying consistent here, being nice to us, or me. I'm calling this solo, so hopefully I'm not too rambly on for you. Just call me the Allman Brothers. Hey, and there it is. It is Nebula Space popping out, now chasing down Catanado. So Nebula Space got caught up there in jam number 4 where the huge jam for Alaska came. Since then, Nebula Space has done a good job of finding space and being able to get through and at least make Catanado have to think about the potential call-off. And this time, Nebula Space busting through the micro pack, actually now getting on the lead side of this scoring opportunity out in front of Catanado. Catanado looking for the bench, so I think they're going to potentially just run clock here and do the late call. Yep, there it is. Saw the call from the bench and saw that coming, basically saying, hey, we're going to trade 4, but I'm also going to end up running as much clock off as we can. So in a way, that is a benefit to Alaska because it does not change the point differential, but they did run clock off. So there we go. We are little under 5.5 left to go in this one, and heard whistles. It's hard. I have a double headset can on, so hearing any outside noise is a little bit difficult for me. The whistles are funny, but here we go. Smashley, P-Score Princess. We are staying on our jammer rotation, so if you're jotting it down, you can get this P-Score Princess. Almost had 1 left to beat. Sugar Honey Iced Tea was the last blocker, and doing it again, and this time P-Score Princess does make it through onto the inside. This is now the second lead jam for the Alabama All-Stars, but Smashley also getting the double release, so just a I was saying chewing up the space now. I was going to say a quarter of a track. Now we're coming back in fairly even. P-Score Princess calls it off, doesn't want to surrender points. Looking to get that one lone blocker at the back of the pack and not quite able to get the hips turned around to get that point. So we're just going to freeze the score where it is. Nothing adding up, just clock running off. So, I mean, like I said, if you've got it, I can tell you, if you want to write it down at home, so the Alaska jammer rotation is 5-4, 5-3, 4-7, 2-1. Alabama, it's 2-8, 4-20, 6-6, 1-1, 1-1. So there you go. You can write it down for yourself because here it is. It's Vix coming out of the pack. Prism Riot looking for 1 left to beat, getting some offensive help, not quite able to do it, but Prism Riot just trying to play that just run and gun game is what I call it. It's just basically get out there, get strong, and just power them through. So have a 1 lap lead right now for Vix as Prism Riot. Yep, coming back in, saw that coming. making the call off. So Alaska is going to just decide, we are fine with one and dones here. We have a lead established. We will just kill clock and let this game keep moving forward. So we'll see what happens at the intermission and see if everybody sits down, if the Alabama All-Stars maybe shake up their jammer rotation a little bit, maybe see if they can figure out a place for advantage where I do believe, yep, there it is. We have Nikita, we have Destiny's Favorite, which we've seen, like I said, this combination, 4766, 4766, 4766, and it's 47. Nikita coming through to grab that lead. Chris, Destiny's Favorite, trying to get hot on the back. And it is Sugar Honey driving out, but going down a little bit stretched out there. So, yep, just bought. I mean, that's an effective block. It bought their jammer time to get a full opportunity to come around the track. But I think a good contact there from Felony to the inside. Yep, I was correct. That contact from Felony, chipping Nikita off before anybody's passed, freezes that at 0. So I know it's hard coming in here on a Sunday morning after, an entire weekend of roller derby, being one of the first teams to have to play. But, that's what they come here for. I mean, there's some of the lower ranked teams here in this tournament, which is fine because a lot of times, you need to get this, under your belt. The more times you can go out there and play in a lot of, big tournaments and games, the more you learn from it, the better you get. You can sit there and watch other leagues, talk to the teams you play because everybody's here trying to have a good time and enjoy themselves. As Catanado trying to find the space out front. Does Nebulous space, has none in the back right now. So I think we're going to see Alabama try to turn on the offense real quick and did. But no, actually the offense is going to be past the star forward to Glamazon. Glamazon taking a hard shoulder there from Nova, getting tipped to the inside. One of the rare moments that Glamazon finds somebody else of similar height. Actually fairly tall blocking crew here for Alaska. And that is Catanado kind of getting into the chum and finding a little sliver of space to kind of tiptoe through all the bodies. Glamazon, one left to beat again, does take the shot, but flips the hips there off of Nova to get on the scoring opportunity. Catanado, wow, just kind of, at first I didn't think there was really space. It looked like there was space, then it went away, and then it still was a successful jump there for Catanado onto the inside. Oh, and Catanado, man, once again, it's like, where is the space coming from? It's like, this ability to kind of hover around bodies on the track, able to kind of move out in one direction and still come back in. So Catanado's going to run up 16 points onto that one. And that is Glamazon able to get 1 point there at the end. Anytime you're the pivot and you get the star pass, the reward is I got points. 1 point, doesn't matter. You get points. So we're going to have an official timeout. We're going to take a real quick look at where our penalties stand because we have been running them up. So that's 18 now for Alaska. That is 23 for Alabama. So, yeah, it's been a busy game out there. The whistles are, can you wear a whistle out? I don't know. I mean, you can definitely put too much spit in one and it doesn't work very well, or you can kind of lip one funny and it doesn't blow right. But, that's just me being disgusting. Oh, so here we go. I just saw a discussion here. So I think possibly Hannibal Recker had talked and said, hey, I had a hip on the line. The only way this person is able to get around me is potentially grabbing on and using me. So I do believe that is I know it's a penalty right now that went on Catanado there at the very end. So Catanado is going to sit in the box with the power start, going out here for a Peace Corps Princess. And Peace Corps Princess trying to make the run. Alabama All-Stars looking to do the defense. That's Dr. Who's Your Daddy, just kind of backing up and just saying, well, I'm just going to take up more space than you're able to go forward with. And so that's all it really took. The defense couldn't follow through because they were just capped off at the top. And once again, Dr. Who's Your Daddy just trying to set the edge. Peace Corps Princess running back to the inside, but Catanado slashes out of the box and into the pack as all eyes were looking to help Peace Corps Princess. So Peace Corps Princess calls off the jam, takes 4 points, locks out Alaska there as we go to intermission at 143-30. So, hey, do what you got to do, but we'll be back here in 10 minutes. Derby fans. I believe 18, probably one of those is me because I've got the feed up on my phone over here just to keep an eye on things. So, hello, friend. How are you doing this morning? Hopefully well. We are here in Lansing, Michigan. We are watching Alaska and Alabama. I'm sure you know who the teams are because you probably came here intentionally. So, how did we get to where we are right now? Well, looking at the penalty totals, it's relatively even in the overall scheme of things. Alaska has 19. Alabama All-Stars has 23. The big difference right now is the fact that Alaska's jammers have only surrendered 3. I say only because Alabama All-Star jammers have had 6 jammer penalties. So that is definitely a big difference there in that respect. And right now, still, so Alaska has 1 player on 4, and Alabama All-Stars has 1 player on 4. So, and they kind of pretty much steadily sat on that for like 9 minutes left to go in the end of the game. So, that, ended at half. So that wasn't, too bad on their account. The big penalty for both teams, forearms. Just kind of some of those reaching penalties. Our leading scorer for Alaska is number 21, Catanado. And our leading scorer for the Alabama All-Stars is number 66, Destiny's favorite. Of course, everybody has had points. Alaska's fairly balanced on their scoring for all their jammers. And in a way, so is the Alabama All-Stars. Of course, we've had 1 point scored by a pivot. That was Kalamazan, able to sneak in and get 1 at the end of a jam when Alaska tried to call it off. So, the rotation has been pretty consistent. I'm curious to see if we're going to see changes, and I think I might now finally see a change in the rotation. It may be that the Alabama All-Stars are deciding, let's do these matchups. Maybe these 2 jammers are going to be better matched one another with their respective defenses. We will see here in just a moment as I have my jammers sitting at the back of the pack. I do believe that is Smashley and Destiny's favorite. They're at the back of the pack. So here we go. We are starting our second period. Second half is underway. And it's going to be Destiny's favorite taking the first lead opportunity here in the second. Alabama had a hard time getting those in that first half. They had a total of 3 out of 21 jams. So this is a big change. And a step over on the inside. Lone scorer calls off the jam. And there we go. A 0-4 jam in favor of the Alabama All-Stars. So there we go. And it's what we say. Where is the coaching coming from at the intermission? Well, there it is. And Destiny's favorite, one of those happy skaters, usually enjoys being out there no matter what the situation is. Always like to see players who enjoy themselves on the track. And here we are back at the track. It's Vix, Nebula Space. Yes, we have changed up the jammer rotation from the first half. So here we go. And it's going to be Vix breaking through the middle. So looking to see if we might have a little change in the nature of the gameplay here. So right now, trying to get a star pass off. It does appear to be successful. This time, Felony. So we do have a new jammer in this, Felony. Of course, I'm going to be fair here. I am from the state of Alabama, so I do know these players. Oddly enough, though, the place I have spent the second most times sleeping not under my roof, Alaska. So there you go. I think I'm the appropriate person to have been on this game today. Felony just trying to get that tiptoe to the outside is not quite successful. Got a little clutter here in front of me. I was going to try and name that blocker, but now we've lost that opportunity. Oh, no, that was 289 Fort Knox Fox, who was the devil in disguise there. So here we go. Another turn of the track coming for Vix. Felony starting stock in the back of the pack. Are we going to get the call off before Felony gets a chance to make points? And just does break the front of the pack. And I think we had a little bit of a pile up there. I think some late contact. I think it was potentially incidental. They're looking down, just talking to people right now. I believe that's Lucy. No, that's Cutie Pie talking there to Nebula Space. I think just checking on Nebula Space. So there we go. Everybody is off the track there. So that's 12 points going for Alaska in that jam. And here we go, back to the mix. Peace Corps Princess. Oh, and we did have a penalty. That's what happened. A penalty came at the end for Vix. We've been having some of these late jammer penalties being assessed. Looking at the nature of it, it may have been a track cut because of the angle they took going to the inside. Peace Corps Princess actually kind of getting shoved forward on that one. One left last to beat. Smiles all around, though, as Nova says, yep, I'm probably a little bit further out than I need to be. That's why we'll go back and join my friends. So, hey, this is now 2 leads in the first 3 jams for the Alabama All-Stars. So, hey, big change going on there. So that's what I'm saying. This is kind of a learnament, for these players. Not too often do they get to go to situations like this where they, play a lot of people. And I know Alaska is another one of those. They kind of have to, you really got to travel a long way if you're going to find somebody else to go out and play that isn't just you internally. So that's 3 points on the jam. Ooh, I think a little voice break there, yes. Puberty's rough here. So 37 points onto the board for the Alabama All-Stars, 155 for Alaska. Here we go. It's a different jammer rotation yet again now. So we have broken up the pattern from the first half. It's Nikita, it's Prism Riot. So now we're trying to look. Prism Riot just trying to say, hey, I'm going to rush you. There it is. Holy smokes, it's 3 of 4, 2 in a row. Getting lead. There has been some things going on that bench. Hollandaise and Asian Invasion talking up their team. Now it's Feta James playing the last line defense, buying a little time for Prism Riot to get in. Riot not quite able to make the turn of the hips there, looking to score the points. And I love seeing this. Right now this morning, every player out here after the big heads just kind of checking on one another, shaking hands, going, you good, I'm good, we're all good? Yeah, let's keep playing Derby. I haven't done tournaments in a long time, but that's because it's long. 3 days locked up in a big rectangle, hearing a lot of loud sounds and play. Kind of gets to you after a while, but seeing the sportsmanship still out there, on day 3 is just, it's so much fun. Oh, and there's Destiny's favorite playing the drag back. Not really sure why I want to do this because, the clock does help Alaska burning the clock, but, trying to do the drag back, bringing it back in. So it's like, all right, well, we're just going to kind of take the long skate back. A little smile from Cat Nato there. So here we go. We're going to get back to playing roller derby. And Cat Nato was actually able to take advantage of that speed momentum. But it did buy time for Beal to get out of the back, but not quite enough to be an impediment for Cat Nato. Oh, Destiny's favorite gets out, doesn't realize, once more Nova trying to be that last line of defense. Beal also trying to do that for the Alabama All-Stars. Cat Nato looking at the bench for the call. Once again, I think they're going to try. No, they're going to decide to go ahead and run this. Thought they were looking for the potential to call off the jam. And so, hey, drop down to the inside was Destiny's favorite. Just kind of picked up because everybody kind of lost sight in the muddle in the middle there, and so just popped through for points scored. Didn't see the points go up that time, but I do know points have been assessed for Destiny's favorite, so we'll get that sorted coming into this. If there's a pile up there in turn number 3, Destiny's favorite coming back through yet again, getting shouldered out and being, I was about to say recycled by Magoo, but Magoo heading off to the penalty box, so a little illegal behavior helped to assist that drop off. So continuing to run this one long, I guess Cat Nato got the word from the bench saying, hey, we're going to keep moving this forward. I'm a little confused on the jammer score here because I do believe this is Destiny's favorite second run through the pack. I do not believe she passed everybody without passing, but I would definitely we have a down skater here at the pivot line for the Alabama All-Stars. Looks like maybe just a little bit of an undercut there. That would be Derby Gorgon kind of clutching the midsection there. So they're saying 14-4. If I was the Alabama bench, I would ask about that. Because I know that Destiny's favorite was on the knees there on the inside, but did have to get up. Looked like at least passed 2 blockers at a minimum on that one after getting up. So, because that did happen like right in front of us. So I did have eyes on. And if anybody knows me, I also do skate official. I jam ref as well. So yeah, I mean, I definitely say, yeah, the while down, there was definitely at least one that was on the ground as well. So that is a no pass as you slid pass. But there were two over here on the outside. So would like to have seen potentially a little, 2 and 4 from the OPRs to the jam ref going, hey, no. When they got back up, I had two out here in the pocket. So, but they're talking right now. We have not had a score change. So 14-4. Alaska running that one long. I think they feel comfortable with Catanado doing that. Catanado already did that earlier in the first. Just decided to just kind of run a natural long one like that, which is what gave the big scoring run of 26. We do not have any surprise jammer penalties at the end of this one, but we do have two blockers for Alaska sitting in our Happy Coffee penalty box. I am seeing the bench coach for the Alabama All-Stars come to the inside, Asian Invasion. I think the Captain Glamazon coming in and checking in as well. I do not see an Alaska representative decide to come out yet. I know sometimes if you see the opposing coach come out to the inside, you generally follow suit from the other bench going, so what's up? What are we going to talk about here? Always want to get your 2 cents in as well. So we have our official timeout. It is bought, blah, blah, blah. Not bought, brought to you. So we're going to say this for right now since, I am on track 3. So our streaming sponsor is Roller Bones. Roller Bones is our track sponsor. I want to say thank you to the Lansing Sports Commission for supporting Skate Wars. So the Lansing Sports Commission and Skate Wars. Once again, our track sponsor over here is Roller Bones. Roller Bones. You know what they are. Those little shiny metal things with little bearings on the inside that help your wheels make go. So, yep. I'm trying to think. Yeah, no, I know I use Roller Bones a lot when I skateboarded as a youth. Youth is a long way away for me at this point. Nobody would call me, young unless they're those people that are weird. This is, I'm 50 years young. Nah, my body says I'm old. It knows I'm old. My brain's getting smooth. It's old too. But hopefully not too smooth that I can't give you good derby commentation here. And possibly a little bit of rambly entertainment as well while we were in this long official timeout. Now clocking in at 3 minutes. So I see official coming to the inside, kind of talking to the respective benches coming over here. I don't know if I'm not seeing the little dot bop, for an official review, but we do have what looks kind of like an official review over here. As I believe that is our head ref speaking to the respective benches. I see head nods, I see studious looks to our official. So maybe we'll find out something from this, maybe we'll not. We can all speculate at home. You are free to speculate as much as you want. It will buy you nothing, not even a cup of coffee. I have my house announcer Spider to the side of me just yelling out for our Derby fan. I say fan, I mean there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 people with eyes on the track right now, because who wants to get up on a Sunday morning if it's not for brunch, to come in here and do this? Well, I know, Derby hardcores, that's who come in here, that's who's here, and so it's a big ups to our Derby hardcores. I do see our jam ref for Alabama All-Stars coming over to talk to the scoring table as well, so we might get a change in score. It was a bit of a longer timeout than expected. We're still seeing the two squads while the official has kind of drifted away from the what was essentially a captain's meeting number 2 here in front of our penalty box, our Happy Coffee penalty box. They're still talking over there, smiles, pointing and talking. He's like, hey, you got tattoos? I like tattoos. Who doesn't in roller derby? So more talks coming. Guilty going over there and talking as well to the penalty box. More talk to the penalty box. Potentially that was a concern to the contact that we saw there at the end that took Derby Gorgon down. Did not see it as the skaters were kind of, washing in front. The play was in a slightly different area of focus, but I do see a skater leaving the area, so that may have been elevated to an expulsion. I don't like to speculate. I'm going to go look over here at our yes. I do believe that now has been, yes, that is a direction. That is a direction that does appear to have been elevated to an expulsion. So we are now red striped on our penalty score sheet. That is number 210 Fupacabra. You hate to see that on a Sunday. And I mean, obviously everybody was talking. I don't think there was malicious intent to that, because you wouldn't have people smiling. They wouldn't be all friendly over there. I mean, people are friendly by default a lot of times in Derby, but when somebody really kind of gets taken out, sometimes some feelings are amplified, but not as the case here. We're going to get back into the game. I do believe that is the captain. Well, of course, it's the captain with an expulsion, one of your captains. So that's Tiffinator, who has taken the seat for Fupacabra. Fupacabra will not return to the game, but returning to the game now, we have Smashley and Nebula Space. So hopefully you had time to go use the restroom in that 4 minutes of time, and it's Smashley getting out to the front, taking lead. So now we're matching up 3v3 on lead here in the second half. Nebula Space looking to try and make the little twist and turn around. Just trading off the contact here is Nova and Sugar Honey Iced Tea. For Sugar Honey Iced Tea now going off to join friends in the penalty box, or Happy Coffee penalty box, with a forearm. So the only two blockers out there have the numbers 6 and 9 in their jerseys respective. That's 609 and 69. That's Magoo and Nova. Two of them have been together quite a bit out here on this track. That's Nova taking the tip down. As Nebula Space coming back in, still had the helmet cover in the hand, so no threat of points. So it still created the call off there. We're going to look at what the last bit of points were for Smashley, and yes, confirmation for 2, so we're going to run that up to 6. So sometimes the best job you can do as the opposing jammer to lead is just get out quick enough to force the call off and limit the amount of points they are able to obtain. So now we're, like I said, once again changing up this jammer rotation. It's going to be Vix and Peace Corps Princess. Peace Corps Princess with the quick run through on the inside. It's like everybody forgot that that part of the track existed.
Still in the mix.
Probably one of those moments that Peace Corps Princess wish would have been available in the first half, as Peace Corps just kind of got waylaid a number of times. Dr. Who's Your Daddy trying to point out some opportunities for offense, and Peace Corps Princess slides through, makes it through, gets it, as we have a power jam now as well. Kind of getting blocked up over there at our penalty box. So it's a power jam, one of the rare opportunities. That's the second time now that we have gotten that here in the second half for Alabama All-Stars, and are taking advantage of it full. So there we go. If you are sitting in the so thank you for showing up. I'm sure your friends on this team are happy that you are getting a lack of sleep to cheer them on from afar. So here we go. Vix back into the mix, looking to launch in. Peace Corps Princess decides to go ahead and call it off after getting stuck into the pack there and the second apex. So it's a 9-point jam. So there we go, hitting 50 on the board there, 175 to 50. And going back and checking through my stat sheets, yes, that is the largest jam of the game coming for the Alabama All-Stars. Previous was Destiny's Favorite with 8. So we're back into the play. That is Nikita, that is Prism Ride. So while they have changed up the rotation here in the second half, they have not changed up the habit of rolling out the same rotation. Deep drawback now coming for the Alabama All-Stars, looking to get Prism Right free, one left to beat, and it's out of place. So that's going to be Sugar Honey Iced Tea having to go back to join the friends for the defense. Looking to try and run a little bit of offense now. So 2 to beat left here, Beal and Felony at the top of the pack. Beal having to go down, trying to make the lateral. Does not make it. Felony swing and a miss as well. But Prism Right is in the point confirmation. Goes ahead and tags off a couple of bodies. Gets 1 point there. Would like to see Prism Ride start to carry some of those through, because Prism's done a good job of getting lead here in the second half, but not capturing the points to take advantage. But once again, Prism is a kind of newer to the whole jamming concept. It is definitely a different world out there as a jammer than a blocker, because a jammer feels somewhat more alone, where blockers always have friends to do. But yeah, you have friends there; they'll run the offense for you. So the two top jammers of the day were in the first half were Catanado and Destiny's Favorite for the respective teams. So now I think we're matching strong on strong, and it is Catanado taking this one. We are trading off leads here. And the second, which is a definite positive for the Alabama All-Stars. And just, I mean, Catanado just able to find the low spot behind Glamazon, kind of what you'd say getting into the blind spot there. But it's Spider-Ram who's taken the star and has gone through to get the initial, looking to put some pressure on. It's going to be a question, will Catanado run it long? Catanado's, holy smokes, how did Catanado just won the leverage war there against Destiny's Favorite? I mean, they were both just kind of stuck to each other, and it was just who can outlower the other and get the leverage advantage, and that was Catanado able to take that pressure and spin out of it for 4 more points. So hopefully you can possibly hear some errant, well, not errant, but they are whistles from the opposite side of me, the track behind me. As we said, we have 3 tracks going on today here at the Lansing Center. It has been a fun go of Derby all weekend long as Smashley and Nebula Space are coming into their respective pileups here, and it's going to be Smashley finding it on the outside. Able to get that lead jam status. Nebula Space still kind of stuck in the pileup. Riding on the back of the pivot for Alaska. Smashley taking advantage of kind of the clutter up there and getting through. Nebula Space trying to find some friends on the outside there. Hannibal Wrecker and Feta James trying to run the offense. Hannibal just basically trying to Sherpa forward. Nebula Space in the mix now. The teams are dropping into respective separate walls. We've been very cluttered thus far in this jam. It's the first time we've seen real good full separation. Smashley just trying to play the pinball wizard back here and just kind of bounce off and see where the open space is. Nebula Space trying to play a little bit of a power game here. See if they can kind of, knife open a seam in that wall. Of course, Felony, the pivot, sitting in the box, unable to make the star pass a genuine threat for Nebula Space. It's once again taken out to the outside. That is Sugar Honey Iced Tea. I've said that name a few times. You can put that acronym together if you want, because that is what is sporting on the back of the jersey. Looking to make the potential pass through was Nebula Space. Does finally get the handoff to Felony. So Felony's second time taking that from Nebula Space. Felony, a very gritty skater and player. Kind of riding it out here. We have a no pack call as the pack got extended. Coming back in the mix is Smashley bouncing off of Feta James. Hannibal Wrecker looking to take kind of a weird hit there. Probably an errant hand caught the throat. There is kind of a clutching there at the base of the neck. Yeah, there's been some spins out here. A little bit of a flying about. This Felony came back in, up to force the call off. 16 onto the board for Alaska. So 199 to 51 is where we sit with half of the second period left to go. Now I'm seeing, I do believe that is the captain, Tiffinator. Yep, that is Tiffinator, was talking to the officials. So here we go. Vix, Peace Corps Princess. They are our jammers. We've said these, well, we. I'm using the royal we at this point because it's just me. Peace Corps Princess actually does it again. Peace Corps Princess had the struggle in the first period with penalties, now actually winning it with the leads, but Vix is stalking fast from behind. Alaska taking the backside of the defense, hoping to chip out, looking for the hand, double checking on if anybody's were passed before going out. So 0 for blue, and I'm missing, yes, my white. The jam ref representing Alabama All-Stars, double checking with the OPRs, but you love to see that. I mean, this is, once again, Zebra as a team as well, and throwing one up. We are getting the single finger, and it's the index, so we're happy about that one. So Alabama All-Stars taking their first team timeout, really doing very well in the second half. So first half, it was 30 points for the entirety of, let me count how many jams we had. 30 points in 21 jams. We are 11 jams in, and we've already added 22. So really kind of doubling up the scoring opportunities here, and a lot of that is coming from staying out of the penalty box, getting those lead jam statuses, which, I mean, that seems, obvious. Oh, we are changing that to 2 points. 2 points there at the end of the Alabama All-Stars, so that is 53. And I don't know what Alaska is cheering about, but I think they're cheering about the game going on behind us. And that's what you want to see, the sporting relationship we have out here as Derby people. Because we are a collective, we are a tribe unto ourselves. That's why it's kind of fun. While we have, I say state-named teams out here, we also have borderless teams, and that's kind of really what roller derby is. It is kind of borderless. I mean, it crosses all boundaries of, city, state, nation, and even continent. I'm gonna take a quick sip to freshen my throat. Nikita Prism Riot. Prism Riot has been getting the leads, but Nikita's trying to get Glamazon, does make the win with a spin to the outside. So Nikita with that lead. And just a reminder, Alaska is in the blue with the light blue accents, and Alabama is in white with the gold accent. Intimidator trying to hold back Prism Riot. Prism Riot just basically sledding that power forward and getting to do it. So here we go, trying to reset the defense here for the Alabama All-Stars. Beal trying to chip Nikita out. Passing along, going to go ahead and play the bridge here between the two defenses. Prism Riot getting caught, chipped off to the inside there from Fort Knox Fox. So 4 points on for Nikita now, so 203 to 53. Prism Riot decides to play a little defense, but yeah, hit Nikita out. Nikita's with a smile, realizing that the benefit actually goes to Alaska on killing the clock. It's no longer about points. And hey, well, Nikita's just like, fine, we're done. Let me call it off. If I was Nikita, I'd have been just like, fine, let's just skate. The clock goes in my favor. But, yep, handshakes all around at the end of that. So, like I said, these two teams are enjoying themselves out here. They are enjoying the Sunday morning early game. Hopefully you are as well. I don't know what you're going to do after this game, whether you're just here to watch roller derby of any kind or you enjoy these two teams in particular. Hopefully you'll come back for more games. We still have our championship bout to end the day. That is going to be Black Diaspora versus Pennsylvania. And there it is, Destiny's favorite. Just kind of out of nowhere. It's like kind of bodies were there, and then boop, there comes a white jersey with a star on its helmet. And that is Destiny's favorite being flashed behind by Cat Nato now. Destiny's favorite just getting absolutely rocked coming into that contact, calling it off from the knees. Do believe. Oh no, we're gonna hold fists in the air. Everybody's showing solidarity of 0. So thank everybody for sticking around for my monologue. Oh, we've added people. We're up to a whole 29, probably me included. So thank you for being here. Thanks for the comments being turned off so you can't say bad things about me. I've said them all to myself in my head, so there's nothing you got that I haven't thought to myself. So here we go, Smashley, Nebulous Space. Smashley trying to drive that 2-wall forward at the front. Two guys reaches the inside, does not make the contact. Smashley is now the lead. So here we go, defense setting up back. Alabama trying to run the offense quick. Unfortunately, that bottled them up into the mix with the Alaska defense, making Smashley have an easy pass through for those 4 points. But at this point, I do believe the All-Stars are just looking to get their jammer free. Wow, and Smashley just, absolutely being the bowling ball against the white pins there, separating those as I see Spider Wham, the pivot now coming back into play. So that was part of the key. Was Nebulous Space has had a little bit of trouble at times getting out of the pack and definitely reliant on the pivot. And well, you can't do it when your pivot's in the box, but now Spider Wham is there, so they're doing the trade back. So there it goes. They had the not a clear pass. Spider Wham being intelligent enough to hand it back, but well. So now I guess it's going to be called an illegal star pass, but if I wasn't mistaken, Spider-Man did not go forward far much, did hand it back to Nebulous Space. They both clutched it, and then the release was made. So yeah, the star passes are always tricky. The metrics on how you want to, decide on where the negativity of a event was there, but that's Smashley saying, I don't care what's going on in the rest of it. I've got my own game to play here. So Smashley rocking out of 20, looking to try and maybe capture that 26-point jam that Catanado had, and there it is, 4. So 20 seconds left to go to get around this track to potentially grab 2 more points as Spider-Ram comes out of the box. So Nebulous Space getting stuck in this pack again. 10 seconds left to go. Will Smashley break that scoring record from Catanado, and I do believe only 1 left to beat. So yeah, that should be at least 1 extra point coming there. That was 1941 Kayakazi left to beat. So we'll see. Is that going to be a 3 spot? That is a 3 spot. So that is 27. Now the largest jam of the game for either team, and that is for Alaska. And just for anybody at home, that was kind of in a similar situation from earlier where Nebulous Space just could not break the pack and got caught up in deep. And so we have it again. We have an official timeout now as they touch their shoulders. So our sponsor for this stream on track 3 is Roller Bones. Roller Bones, you know what? I don't care who you are. You need new bearings. You just need new bearings. You think you don't need new bearings. You need new bearings. We all leave our bearings in for too long to our wheels. You need new bearings. You'll see the difference. You'll put new bearings in, and you'll be like, holy smokes, I'm faster. It's like, no. You've always had that ability. Your bearings were just holding you back. So holding back right now are the defenses on the respective jammers. That's Vix, that's Peace Corps Princess, and Peace Corps Princess yet again. Just, everybody's focused on the one, and Peace Corps Princess says, oh, well, I mean, if y'all don't mind, I'll just take this inside line here and get the lead. Peace Corps Princess decides to go ahead and just call it off. I'd like to see Alabama kind of, hold on to some of these lead opportunities. I mean, they've definitely had a lot more here in the second half than they did in the first. So right now, I'm doing my math, so it's 8. They had a total of 3 in the first, out of 21 jams, and here we are, 15 jams done, and they have 8. So, hey, big props to picking up the lead jam status and, doing those things. Unfortunately, the points aren't coming with it, but, these are things to build on. Alaska, has had some tough losses here this weekend, so, this will probably make them happy being able to go home. It's a long trip for them. Thousands of miles to get here to Michigan, at least come home with a W in the books. Alabama will make their way back to the south with lessons learned and new things going on as Prism Rides looking to pass that off. Going to give that now to Jay Beal, and I'm not sure if the Star Pass is actually as Jay Beal as the jammer, which I do believe because they're going with it with the helmet cover. Nobody instead, you have to relinquish the helmet cover. So Jay Beal will go off as the jammer to the penalty box as Nikita continues to turn this track over. That is Hannibal Wrecker creating the hit that forced Nikita to the outside. Derby Gorgon trying to hold down the front here. Alabama All-Stars. I almost did it, and I shouldn't have done it. I've been around this long enough. I know better myself. Alabama All-Stars looking to hold that, and they did a very good job of slowing things down. Now Jay Beal able to get back out of the pack. Looking to get the initial in as now full 4 contingent of blockers here for Alabama at the front, 4 for Alaska as well. Terminator looking to run some offense, but actually that offense worked out for Jay Beal because all the direction went to the outside, and Jay Beal said, the inside looks good to me, I'll take it. Oh, and calling off the jam. I'm sure Beal was going to be like, hey, come on, let me get some points here. Come on now, come on. I want some points. Every jammer wants to get the point. Every pivot turn jammer wants to get the points. So there we go. 8 points on that jam. So there we go. We're going to... Well, I heard whistles. Yes, those are our whistles. That is our track whistles. Good. We're going to double check real quick our Alaska Jam Ref coming over just to recalculate to make sure all the points were right. Having a little talk to the left of us over here. Right now we have Catanado and Destiny's Favorite waiting to take their turn at the jam line. So right now we're sitting at the clock. The scoreboard shows 2:38. Nope, they added 2 more points on the board. Yeah, I was waiting to write my own notes down here. So 2:40 to 53 is where we this juncture. And once again, Destiny's Favorite doing what Destiny Favorite does, smile. That is one of the happiest skaters I've ever seen on the track. They are the lifeblood of roller derby. You just like Poison Violet for Black Diaspora last night was just all smiles at all times. So you love seeing skaters that are out there like that, and right now, Cat Nato out there like that with lead. Hey, but the quick star pass now coming through Spider Wham, this time on the legal side of things is our star pass. So Spider Wham's going to get an opportunity to throw the star on, see what they may do. And yep, once again, Alaska's saying, no, we're going to just shut the door on any scoring opportunities. So they're just going to take their points and take the clock and take it back to the bench. All right, already have Nebula Space lining up at the back of the pack. I'm looking over. We are one blocker into the penalty there. We are starting to see a few blockers, getting on trouble here. Oh, now, yeah, I see that 29 total to 33 total for the respective teams. That's Alaska and Alabama. And Alaska is going to get lead with Smashley being the recipient. Nebula Space looking for some friendly assistance back there to open things up. Defense has to reset and form at the back, so they have to separate as the long drawback is keeping Nebula Space from Felony to Friend with the stripe on their helmet. Felony trying to take the turnaround on the outside, gets slipped past by Smashley. Felony now getting back in there, basically trying to get that star cap from Nebula. Oh, wow. I do not know where Smashley found the room to get past there on that jump past Janarchy. Janarchy looked to have effectively closed it out, but not so. Felony now just playing the offense, just prying people and getting up in the space, trying to double duty here as a defender and an offense. High block getting hit on the inside on the call. I have a hard time seeing who that was at the moment. I think that was Yeti, not Yeti. So here we go. Star pass has been completed to Felony. Felony now the jammer of record. Alabama All-Stars trying to deploy that tactic to call off jams, and there it is. Smashley makes the pass through one more time, taps the hips. We are going to end this jam number 18 with a score of 16 on the jam, 260 in the total. 53 still sitting for Alabama. So Alabama had a good score going for points in the early going, but now are getting kind of locked out after jam number 12. So had a good run, still getting the leads, but not being able to make something from it, though. So, it's kind of a positive negative there. You're doing the one thing, and you've just got to complete the total. It's like I said, it's doing kind of half the work. You've gotten there, you've gotten the thing you want. Dr. Who's Your Daddy going to take the jam opportunity this time. Actually, just going ahead and just doing a natural star pass through. So we don't care if we get lead. We're just going to get out and get points. And so, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and do that. So Dr. Who's Your Daddy starts off. So it's kind of like how you've seen in baseball now, where you have the relief pitcher start the game, and you have your starter come in and finish the game, so you have the stronger arm finishing. And so that's kind of what we're doing here if you're into sports. And, of course, Vic's getting the late lead there and calling it off as Peace Corps Princess continues to do it out. And that's the problem. The call-off came on the opposite end of the track where the activity was occurring, so Alabama All-Stars gets 1 point there. So, hey, they got the point. They got the time. So, I like seeing things like that. Try things. I really enjoy, especially when you're behind, pull out the stops. There's nothing left to lose here. So that's 8 star passes we've seen in this second half. For Alabama All-Stars. We're going to have an official review. Once again, this track is sponsored by Roller Bones. If you don't know what Roller Bones are, do you even derby? Or maybe you're listening to this and you used to, skateboard. Or maybe you inline. Whatever kind of wheels are on your feet, Roller Bones can do the job for you. So we will have a most valuable player at the end of this game, and it's just not per team. It's not a jammer. It's not a blocker. It's just whoever we thought was the overall top best player in this game had the most impact in the entirety of this game. And it's always a tough one to do here on something like this because, there's so many active blockers, jammers. Jammers are the easy ones because it's obvious what they're doing, but, most of the time, jammers are not doing that alone. So it kind of feels a little unfair at times to reward a jammer when they've had great offensive help, or good, like I said, defense. The defense just locking down a jammer hard enough that, it makes it hard for the other team not to want to divide their focus and, kind of play both defense, offense. So, I mean, that's a big win as well. So once we come back into this, right now they're saying that Nikita and Prism Riot will be our jammers for jam number 20. As we have 2:52 left to go in this game. Thank you for joining us here today. If you've come in late, Alabama is playing in the white and Alaska is playing in the blue. You will not be able to see the accent colors from your vantage point on the camera, but Alaska has a slightly lighter blue as their piping, and Alabama has a gold as their alternate color within their jersey set. I know there's sometimes people who are, they're sneakerheads, and then there's sometimes uniform fans. So some great looking uniforms out here this weekend. It's been fun to see all the different teams here in Lansing, because, I mean, we have had 24 teams, and I'm trying to remember, I think we'll have 52 games by the end of the weekend, so that's a lot of roller derby. So maybe next year when they do this up again, you can get here and see all this for yourself, because it's a lot. I mean, three tracks going. I mean, Big O is one of the things that probably did something like this. ECDX, potentially some of the other places you could have gone to where you've seen, this much derby all at once. Of course, the Big O is no mo, sadly enough. It was always fun to go to Oregon. I got to visit there this year, this time just to visit friends, not for derby, but it was still a good time. Not that I didn't visit my friends when I was there for derby the last time, but hey, this time we just drank lots of beer because it's Oregon. That's what you do. And I have a clearance, so I can't partake of the other types of things you can find in Oregon. So here we go. We're going to partake of the jam line here for these respective jammers. We're going to see if there's some puff pass on these defenses on taking these jammers out. Yes, we're going to go with it because we have a 420 out there. So I already mentioned Oregon. We have 420, so I'd be remiss if I did not work that into my call here. So, wow, okay. I mean, just like out of nowhere, even the jammer I'm supposed to be following just kind of got lost in the mix on that one. That was just an absolute launch out of the inside coming from Nikita. Prism Riot had done a good job the last few jams of just absolutely just bull rushing the entire pack forward and creating, their own space. But, no, a back block. So there, the bull rush does get a penalty. So being really good here in the second half. That is only the second jam penalty coming for the Alabama All-Stars. 2 also going for Alaska in the second half. Pretty much cleaning it up very well here for the jammers. So, at least that part of the game has tightened up for the All-Stars. As now Nikita having a free run of the track. Both teams have the ability to stop the clock. Cutie Pie heading off to the penalty box as our captain for Alaska, Tiffinator, is set free from our Happy Coffee penalty box. I would say we have an illegal contact, obviously blocking that play. Coming here against Amazon, heading off to our Happy Coffee penalty box. Once again, Nikita coming around for the scoring opportunity. Looking to get a little offense there from 289. That is Fort Knox Fox. Fort Knox Fox has been in the action a lot for Alaska today. Lucy Burr trying to be the last line defender and unfortunately stretched out just a little bit too far. So we have the penalty coming from that, as well as the star pass has occurred. No, they call J. Beal on a track cut now. So this is a double tap penalty. I had to make the comment that the penalties have been on the low side here in the second, but we have now taken our second penalty. It will be a power start coming for Alaska in what should be the final jam of the game. So 20 points on to the record for Alaska, bringing their total to 280. Alabama sitting at 54. Alabama had a really good run to start this second half, could not maintain that momentum as we have a team timeout coming from the Alabama All-Stars. So thank you all for being with me on this ride today in the morning. I am Speaker of the House. I hail from the city of Huntsville in the state of Alabama. And as I said earlier, the second most place I have rested my head in this world on a bed that is not mine is actually the state of Alaska. So there you go. This kind of seemed to be an appropriate game for me to be on the stream call for. I love both states. I love hiking. I have such a great opportunity to hike in both those states, and it is fun to be able to see these skaters from two of what really kind of are my favorite states be able to come together and play roller derby out here today. So if you are from Alaska watching this game, man, take a nap when this is done, because you had to get up early for this. If you're from Alabama, it was 8:30 when we started. Not too bad for you. You could probably have yourself some French toast and a little bit of coffee. I know that, actually, oddly enough, this entire weekend I've been getting brevets. I learned about the brevet on my first trip to Alaska back in 2017, and there it is. Bam! That whistle was blown, and, Catnado just said, I ain't got time for that. We're going to get up here to the front of the pack, trying to get it down. Dr. Who's Your Daddy held long enough, but does go off to the penalty box. These Alaska jammers have been really good about, pushing these packs forward enough to get the out of play contact. Amazon able to force Catnado out for the quick recycle. Destiny's favorite trying to signal that one out. Still have full floor here for Alaska, waiting for the return to play from Jay Beal. Lucy Burr coming back into the mix, also from the penalty box. Destiny's favorite and Amazon holding down the front. Jay Beal back into the mix. Now stymied here by Alaska. Destiny's favorite takes the star pass. So here we go. One more star pass coming for the Alabama All-Stars. What is Catnado going to do? Will Catnado continue running it? It does appear so, because we are down with the period clock. We are in jam time. This is that extra time we have. There are two clocks. The jam clock is the ascendant time factor. Destiny's favorite back into it. So Destiny is able to get the points on this pass. But right now, it is some oatmeal back here. It is thick. Maybe need a little water. That water looks to be Dr. Who's Your Daddy to loosen it up. There it is. Offense from the inside, cheering from the bench from the Alabama All-Stars. As Destiny's favorite able to pass through. Catnado once again going ahead and playing the long jam. Beal trying to chip to the outside. Does get enough, and that's going to help force the call off. So there we go. Cheers from the crowd as Destiny's favorite. Oh, did not quite get into the back-to-back for one more. So we will see right now. The unofficial score is 296 to 58. Nope, I'm going to add one more into it. So, yeah, I think somebody with OCD had said, oh, I can't take that number. Let's make it even. So Alaska ends this game with two back-to-back 20-point jams, 4 points going to Alabama. So hopefully we will talk amongst ourselves and get our MVP. And I think we're going to talk about our MVP, and hopefully I'll announce our MVP on the call here as they get the call. If you look on Instagram, you'll see who all the MVPs are per each game. So thank you all for being on this ride with me this morning. I am Speaker of the House. I am so happy to have been here with you as we draw a conclusion to the weekend for these two teams. This was their last game of the weekend. So, hey, Derby's awesome. If you have friends that haven't seen it yet, go grab them, get them to watch it, take them to a live game. You're here on the stream. It's not live, but thank you for being here with me. I am Speaker of the House. This has been Alaska versus the Alabama All-Stars. Do not forget, we have more games going on today, so come back in a while. There will be another one popping up. Or, hey, go over to one of the other streams and watch the end of that game. Peace, love, and happiness to all you out there. I'm out.